You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the May 8th meeting of the Michigan City Police Civil Service Commission. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the May 8th meeting of the Michigan City Police Civil Service Commission. Before we start the meeting, I'd ask everybody to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we have a quorum, I'll call the meeting to order. Commissioner Simmons. Here. Commissioner Cross. Here. Commissioner Mansky's here. I make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Under old business for voice stress / polygraph exams, we had 5 applicants in process. We've reached out to, we've only been able to contact 4 of those 5. We have 1 that's going to be considered or no longer considered in this process. So of the 4 that have been done, 2 have passed, they will move on to the PERF board, and 2 failed, and they are going to be disqualified from this process. As far as background investigations, we currently have 3 outstanding, is that correct? Okay. Right now we have nobody at PERF, so I don't have a report for that. So we'll move on to probationary officer reports, and that will be from Lieutenant Westphal.
Good morning. Start with probationary officer Alexander Henry. He graduated from the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy on April 19th. The FTO program doing well. We've had a bunch of graduations. Actually, the next group graduated from the Northwest Indiana Law Enforcement Academy on May 3rd. They are Officer Gary Francisco, CJ Fusco, Jackson Hayes, Ryan Coons, and Thomas Golf. And also I want to point out probation officer Christopher Bartek. He excelled in the academy. He graduated number 1 in his class, and also graduated number 1 firearms qualification. Type president did very well. Probation officer Cassie Kukla is still in the FTO program and should be going to the Northwest Indiana Law Enforcement Academy in August. The next group started the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy on April 29th. And those officers are Brandon Drake, Derek Selka, Jacqueline Hinson, Makaya Smallwood, Brandon Williams, and Brian Woodman. So they've been there training the academy on April 29th, and they're doing well. Probation officer Robert Domanovic is doing well. He's a solo unit now. He's one of the lateral transfers that's really taking the Michigan CPD and is doing very well. And the last one is probationary officer Michael Schubel. He has decided that law enforcement could not be on that. He has resigned from Michigan CPD. That's all I have.
So under new business, I don't believe we have any claims to be paid. I know that Commissioner Simmons has reached out to the company for our promotional exams. So we'll have some more on that at the next meeting in June. But I believe we're going to use the same company. So we're just waiting to nail down a couple of dates from them as far as availability for the testing in November. Chief Corley is not here. He's out of town on another engagement, so I'll turn it over to Chief Forker.
Yeah, I don't think Chief Corley or I really have anything to add right now. We probably, we obviously have a large crowd here, so we want to recognize our officers in a few events that we've had over the last few months. Yeah, anything else?
Just one thing, the police memorial service will be this Friday at the FOP at 11 a.m. It will be televised also.
So I'm not going to be able to stick around. Unfortunately, I have other business today, but we're going to do the awards ceremony now. Before I leave, I'd like to congratulate everybody who's involved in those incidents. You're well deserving of the recognition that you're going to get today, and I thank everybody for their dedication and their roles in those situations. I believe Commissioner Simmons needs to leave as well, but we'll turn it over to Commissioner Kraus and Chief Forker and Chief Coon.
Good evening. I'm Dave Cooney. I'm Chief of Services with the Michigan City Police Department. We have several different events, and some of them encompass several people, so we'll run through this and recognize these officers for outstanding work that they've done. The first group, if you could come up, Officer Todd Plisky, Officer Woodman, Officer Petrie, Officer McDaniel, and Officer Dokmanovic. If Officer Todd Plisky would step front and center for me, please. Go through these. Hey, Todd. On April 8th, 2024, at 12:54 hours, units were dispatched for a shooting at Advanced Auto. Units converged the scene where the victim had been shot in the torso and was unconscious. Information gathered at the scene revealed the suspect was, I'll list his name, was driving east on US 20 in a gold Honda Accord. Shortly after officers stopped a gold Accord at the Family Express at Johnson Road and 20, it was observed that the driver matched the description. He observed the driver was a male. This is not quite right.
Got it?
Yeah, I got it. So, officers stopped a vehicle that did not match the description at Family Express. However, Todd Plisky observed a driver matching the description, sitting upright, staring straight ahead, and had both hands gripping the steering wheel at a different location in the city. While the other officers were out with the other vehicle, Officer Todd Plisky conducted a U-turn and caught up with the Honda Accord at Highway 12 and Michigan Boulevard. He conducted an inquiry on the plate and discovered it was registered to the potential suspect that was named in the shooting. Officer Plisky broadcasted the information over the radio, advised he would wait to pull the vehicle over until units arrived in the area. Suspect vehicle pulled into the entrance of Washington Park, and Officer Plisky initiated a felony traffic stop. Officer Plisky instructed Officer Woodman not to approach the suspect vehicle, remain in the cover position for the passenger side of the vehicle prior to exiting. Officer Plisky immediately gave loud and clear commands to the occupant of the vehicle. The driver ended up being the suspect, was ordered out of the vehicle and walked toward Officer Plisky and Officer Dokmanovic as well, placing him in handcuffs. The sole passenger, which was the suspect's mother, was then ordered to exit and walk backwards to Officer Plisky. Officer Plisky executed a textbook example of a felony traffic stop, resulting in the suspect safely taken into custody. Without knowing the mental state of the suspect and the knowledge of the suspect had just shot another person, Officer Plisky remained in control throughout the event and acted with professionalism. He ensured the safety of multiple probationary officers who were on scene, as well as himself, and the many citizens who were gathered in the park to view the eclipse. Officer Todd Plisky, your actions were exceptional in service and are in keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It is my honor to present you with this Exceptional Service Award. The other officers who were involved with this incident as well will receive letters of commendation. Again, from the beginning of the pursuit to the initial units remained calm, patient, and were able to work as a team to apprehend the suspect without disturbing the peace of the audience again, watching the solar eclipse as this all happened at the same time. Again, this would be Officer Petrie, Officer McDaniel, Officer Dokmanovic, and Officer Woodland. Congratulate them.
You want to call them down here?
This large incident, we're going to break up into groups. So if we could please have Scott Paul, Rachel Ewert, Mark Raymond, and Steve Weigel approach, please.
This. Want to go to the other side? I'll read this one. Again, this is for Exceptional Service Award. Again, this is the initial responding officers that we had at 1817 Kentucky Street back in March 10th. So I'll read a brief synopsis of the situation. And again, like Chief Cooney said, there's several people involved in this major incident, so we'll try to recognize each as we go through here. So on March 10th, several officers, including Officers Raymond, Weigel, Paul, and Ewert, were involved in the shooting investigation. The above officers listed in the above officers assisted in this investigation by going to 1817 Kentucky Street to locate a suspect. Officers Paul and Ewert took positions in the back of the residence. While at the back of the residence, the suspects exited the back door. Officer Paul confronted the suspect by trying to speak with him. The suspect then retreated into the back door of the house. Once in the doorway, the suspect drew a pistol and fired several rounds directly at Officers Paul and Ewert. It was suspected and later confirmed that the pistol in this case was converted into a fully automatic machine gun. Officers Paul and Ewert took cover behind a pickup truck and began to relay information to officers in the front. Officers Paul and Ewert stood their ground and maintained a perimeter in the back of the residence despite the gunfire. Officers Raymond and Weigel were at the front of the residence when the suspect fired at officers at the back. They took cover behind the pickup truck and began to look around to the sides of the house, looking for the suspect. While behind the vehicle, several more shots were fired from the residence towards the officers, Weigel and Raymond. These shots hit the truck where the officers were taking cover, nearly striking them. Despite the incoming gunfire, Officers Raymond and Weigel held their ground and began communicating with other officers while maintaining the perimeter at the front. This was the start of an approximately 8-hour-long standoff with the suspect who had barricaded himself inside the residence. Officers Raymond, Weigel, Paul, and Ewert remained at the scene for the duration of the standoff and served several critical roles throughout the incident. The suspect was taken into custody at approximately 9 a.m. The suspect was eventually charged with a series of offenses that include 4 counts of attempted murder as a level 1 felony. The courage, patience, critical thinking, and of the initial officers greatly impacted the suspect being taken safely into custody. Officers, I'll just read here. Officer Rachel Ewert, your actions were exceptional in service and are in keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It's my honor to present you with this Exceptional Service Award. Officer Scott Paul, your actions were also exceptional in service and are in keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It's my honor to present you with this Exceptional Service Award. Canine Officer Stephen Weigel, your actions were exceptional in service and in keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It's a pleasure to present you with this award. List number 2. You guys want to have a seat? Again, thank you. We'll play out this event a little bit more as it goes here. SWAT, right?
If the SWAT officers would step forward, please. Officer Charo, Corporal Kennedy, Officer Lewis, Officer Mans, Corporal Wright, LaPorte County, Deputy Wells, as well as Weigel would come back up as well. On March 10th, 2024, Corporal KJ Kennedy was activated as the team leader for the Michigan City Police Department SWAT team. Lieutenant King had advised him officers were actively taking gunfire from a barricaded subject inside of a residence. During the standoff and negotiations, Corporal Kennedy witnessed officers continually checking on each other's well-being and making sure their partners were all right. He saw officers from other shifts, jurisdictions come to help us in our time of need. After the sun had risen and dawn had broke, SWAT prepared to force the subject from the residence. With limited resources and dedication to their fellow officers, SWAT proceeded toward the residence. Despite taking fire on their approach, Corporal Kennedy witnessed a group of professionals with inherent resolve which continued toward the residence to complete their task. Corporal Kennedy stated, "Having been in many high-stress environments, both overseas and at home, I saw a group of officers that understood that we are in fact our brother and sister's keepers. I would gladly take them anywhere." One thing to note is that Corporal Kennedy played a role for the SWAT team's operations. His assistance with the entry while maintaining position under fire into the residence is to be recognized. Corporal Kennedy, your actions were exceptional in service and are in keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It is our honor to present you with this exceptional service star.
Again, Officer Charo. Officer Nicholas Charo played a role with the MCPD SWAT operation. His assistance with the entry while maintaining a position under fire is to be recognized. Officer Charo, your actions were exceptional and are in keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It's my honor to present you with this exceptional service star. So again, Officer Lewis played a significant role for the MCPD SWAT during this operation. His assistance as a breacher for entry while maintaining a position under fire into this residence shall be recognized. Officer Patrick Lewis, your actions were exceptional in service and are in keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It's my honor to present you with this exceptional service star. Corporal Brian Wright played a significant role with the MCPD SWAT during this operation. His assistance with the entry while maintaining a position under fire into the residence is to be recognized. Corporal Brian Wright, your actions were exceptional in service and are in keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It's my honor to present you with this exceptional service star. K-9 Deputy Austin Wells aided our officers as they approached the residence. While others used less lethal munitions, Deputy Wells used a flashbang as a distraction with Officer Raymond, aiding in taking the suspect into custody. There is no doubt the courage, patience, and critical thinking of Deputy Wells had a great impact on the suspect being taken safely into custody. LaPorte County Sheriff Deputy K-9 Officer Wells, your actions were exceptional in service and are keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It's my honor to present you with this exceptional service star.
Oh, Charles here. period.
We'll read this one again. Officer Trial played a significant role with MCPD SWAT during this operation. His assistance with the entry while maintaining a position under fire into the residence shall be recognized. Your actions were exceptional in service and are in keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It is my honor to present you with this exceptional service star. Next group.
Thank you, gentlemen. Group 3 will be the leadership of the event, which will be Lieutenant Painter, Corporal Babcock, and Chief of Operations Forker. I do not see Anna. Did Babcock leave?
Who's it?
Oh, there's Babcock. On March 10th, again, Corporal Babcock and Lieutenant Painter arrived at work to receive an update from Captain Ashley that there had been a shooting at 1628 Tennessee Street where the suspect was believed to be named. At a little after midnight, Corporal Babcock came over the radio that he had heard gunfire coming from the direction of Tennessee Street in the same area. As officers were traveling to the area, dispatch advised the officers that a subject was struck by gunfire, and that a second shooting at a residence happened a short time ago. With the prior knowledge of the shooting earlier in the evening, with the subject injured during the second shooting, Corporal Babcock, Officer Greg Williams, and Officer Weigel began conducting an investigation into the shooting. Corporal Babcock had prior experience with the suspect being named in the shooting and was near a home that he had fled to. Corporal Babcock, Officer Weigel, Officer Raymond, and Officer Ewert went to this location and attempted to speak with the known resident about searching her residence for any weapons. Upon their arrival, they found that there were several juveniles in the home, one of whom is a close friend of the suspect. The officers at this area were told that the homeowner was not home. Corporal Babcock then spoke with the homeowner on the telephone and was told that she would be on her way to speak with the officers. While waiting for the homeowners to arrive, dispatch advised that the suspect called the dispatch center to advise them that they were being sought by police and that they were currently at a location elsewhere in town. It was quickly learned that the address the suspect was giving does not exist. Given this attempt to get officers to leave the area, it seems likely the suspect was in fact inside the residence and that he was also presumed to be in possession of a handgun that was used in the two separate shootings. Corporal Babcock requested additional units to their area. While continuing to take gunfire, Lieutenant Painter, Corporal Babcock, and Assistant Chief Forker again maintained the perimeter while waiting for assistance for responding SWAT team. Each officer kept their composure, maintained communication, ensured the safety of the innocent civilians inside, as well as the rest of the neighborhood as best they could under the circumstances. One thing to note is that Corporal Babcock played a role as well with the SWAT operations. His assistance with the entry while maintaining positions under fire into the residence should be recognized. Corporal Matthew Babcock, your actions were exceptional in service and in keeping with the higher standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It is our honor to present you with this exceptional service star. Skip it. I'll note for Lieutenant Painter. Just a note for Lieutenant Painter, who's not here as well. She was the commander of Midnights at the time. She coordinated with negotiators, perimeter personnel, SWAT personnel, and incoming additional personnel to keep all parties informed of the most current information on the dynamic event. Lieutenant Painter, as well as Corporal Babcock and Assistant Chief Forker, their leadership ensured that officers on scene remained safe and that the responding officers knew their roles. We just want to recognize both of them as well. The next group, yeah, 2 stars if Dispatcher Jenny Vinson, as well as Deputy Scott Lanou. Sergeant for them. On March 10, 2024, several Michigan City police officers took gunfire during a shooting investigation where a suspect had barricaded himself in the residence. This 8-hour long standoff continued through the morning. LaPorte County Dispatcher Vincent remained calm throughout the incident, relaying information and taking exceptional notes for the event that took place. These notes are imperative to document the timeline of events, which will later aid in presenting this case in front of a jury. Her experience as a dispatcher was in full display, and she aided with a safe resolution. Dispatcher Jennifer Vincent, your actions were exceptional in service and are keeping the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department, and it is our honor to present you with this Exceptional Service Award.
LaPorte County Sheriff Deputy Scott Lanoue. On Sunday, March 10th, several Michigan City officers took fire during a shooting investigation near 1817 Kentucky Street, where the suspect had barricaded himself inside the residence. This 8-hour long standoff continued throughout the morning. Multiple agencies units arrived to assist. Sergeant Lanoue assisted as a negotiator along with Lieutenant Ramian to attempt to get the suspect to exit the residence. While speaking with the suspect multiple times throughout the event, Sergeant Lanoue was able to talk 4 people out of the residence and out of harm's way. There was no doubt the courage, patience, and critical thinking of Sergeant Lanoue's had a deep impact of the suspect being taken safely into custody. LaPorte County Sheriff Sergeant Scott Lanoue, your actions were exceptional in service and are keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It's my honor to present you with this Exceptional Service Award.
We'll move to letters of commendation. If we could have Dispatcher Megan Laney, Westville Chief Corey McKinney, Long Beach Sergeant Mitchell Seitz, LaPorte County Deputy Michael Sweat, and Trail Creek Deputy Jason Speak. Again, we would like to thank all the outside agencies that came to our aid. It's really impressive to see how many people can help in a situation like that. We're highly appreciative. For each, your actions during this event were recognized by the command staff and are keeping highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It gives us great pleasure to present you with these letters of commendation for this event. Dispatcher Laney. Chief Corey McKinney. Sergeant Mitchell Seitz. This one's not here. Trail Creek Deputy Jason Speak.
Next, we're going to recognize a group of Michigan City police officers that came in and assisted in some way, shape, or form during this event. If we could have Officer Berker, Officer Tempest Miller, Sergeant Oberly, Officer Todd Slisky, Lieutenant Ramian, Officer Daniel Revore, Officer Cody Wasilewski, and Officer Greg Williams. Just make your way down. Again, these are letters of commendation for outstanding services as follows. On March 10th, units responded to assist officers that are taking gunfire in the area of 1817 Kentucky. On and off during this 8-hour standoff, you helped to resolve this stressful situation in a safe and heroic way. we'd like to recognize Officer Jeremy Berker. Thank you. Sergeant Mike Overly. Officer Todd Plisky. Lieutenant Jeff Ramian. Officer Greg Williams.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I hope you're type
And we can have the detectives come down. Corporal Galletti, Sergeant Hood, Detective Moore, Detective Corporal K. Plisky, Sergeant Sofer, Officer Tillman, Captain Urbantic, and Detective Washington. Again, the detectives, they came out, they either assisted in one way or another, obviously, to keep this, to resolve this stressful situation, but then they also had to go in this house and process it. That had been gassed with pretty powerful OC spray that got the suspect out, again, safely, so we want to appreciate them for their actions. Sergeant Hood. Corporal K. Plisky. Detective Shane Washlewski. Good. Captain Kevin Urbanson.
That's all we got, right? Again, I just I can't express my thanks, and how proud I am of everybody that's in the room, and even the ones that couldn't make it. This was a very high stressful situation. One that honestly we don't really sign up to be involved in, right? People shooting at us. Right, and I think it just speaks volumes of our professionalism, our training, our knowledge, our experience, and I think most of all our courage, right, to stand out there and essentially go toe to toe with evil, right, who's ultimately trying to take one of our lives, and just to be there and to stand up to that. I think that's ultimately why we put this uniform on and we wear this shield on our chest, is to, decide right and wrong, right, good from evil. And it just speaks volume of, again, not only the members of the Michigan City Police Department, but the LaPorte County Sheriff's Department, Trail Creek, Long Beach, right, Indiana State Police, our LaPorte County E911 dispatchers, just to be involved in a situation like this, and to, again, just to stand out there and to have the courage to say, you know what, this is a bad situation and we need to resolve it peacefully, and to, again, use all the tools and resources at our disposal to come out with the best outcome. The patience and resilience that everyone showed that day and that morning, essentially throughout the night, was phenomenal. And again, we say it on here, we've repeated it 100 times today, it seems like, but this is exceptional service. And we should be proud, or I know I'm very proud to stand with all of the brothers and sisters of law enforcement here in LaPorte County. I mean, I see it's a fitting week here as we move throughout the week, and we'll recognize, some of the officers before us in the police memorial. But, it's events like this that just bring us together and really show, like, this is why we do this job. Like, we're here for each other, we're here for our community, and to make it a safer place. and the courage and dedication that it took to stand out there and again get this to a peaceful resolve was absolutely tremendous, and you should all be very, very proud of yourselves again, and your family, please. You have phenomenal courageous people in your lives here that are willing to exceptionally put their lives on the line to protect our community and to make this essential world a better place. So I can't say thank you enough to each and every one of you that were involved. Again, it's just a little something to show our appreciation. I know that, again, from the administration, we our deepest sincere thanks and praise to each and all of you. So again, thank you very much. I don't know what else we got going on here. I'm sure Commissioner Krause will probably. Chief Cooney, do you want to say a few words, or are you going to?
Mayor Angie, do you want to say anything?
Put her on the spot.
Again, I would just like to echo what Chief Forker said, and I would just like to thank all of you on behalf of the City of Michigan City for being courageous and stepping up. We have veteran officers, but we also had new officers, and that speaks volumes to what the administration is doing to make sure that when you put your lives on the line to number one, protect our citizens, that it's important that we continue to, number one, really, really support you in all the efforts that you have, but also your families. It is beautiful to see all your families here this morning supporting you, because I know that was a stressful overnight for a lot of people and your families, knowing that something was happening. So again, just thank you from the bottom of my heart as far as the residents of Michigan City and all of the supporting agencies that Westfield, Long Beach, Trail Creek, the county, the dispatchers, all of you. It took a concerted effort from everyone for this to happen the way it did. So again, thank you all. And again, this room is full from just one incident, and particularly it took 20 plus people to handle that situation so that everybody can make it home safely. So again, on behalf of Michigan City, thank you so much for all of the work that you all do for us. Again, thank you. And again, we got a lot of new officers that are coming online, and you all are the example for them. And they know what they signed up for by seeing your actions. So thank you again. And thank your families for being here as well.
I want to say thank you. This was amazing. I'm a resident here, and I didn't know all this was going on, so y'all kept this very quiet, and I loved it. As a LaPorte County as a whole, y'all are amazing, and I ask that we continue to be as a team. Our department is growing, and our department is showing much growth of excellence across the board, so we do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Simmons, and thank you, Chiefs and Mayor, for your comments, family members for being here, and especially the officers involved. As Chief Cooney mentioned, this Friday is Police Memorial Day, and we'll have a ceremony at the FOP on Highway 20. And if all of you could take a minute for a few seconds and look around, the professionalism and dedication these fine young officers displayed, not to mention the courage under fire, is quite amazing. And I think Corporal Kennedy, who I believe has a Purple Heart from overseas activity, the only good thing you can say about anything when you're getting shot at is they miss you, because otherwise it sort of stings a little bit. But it's quite amazing that this ended with no injuries, fatalities. Can you imagine how different it would be Friday when we celebrate the lives of those who went before us in this occupation? if things had gone bad that particular night and morning. There have been a lot of funerals, a lot of positions to fill. So keep that in mind. I'm not much of a guy who prays at all. In fact, I don't. That's one of my many faults. But sometimes there's a little help above that gets you through, plus the training. And the main thing, I think, as you get older, you realize that it's not just you that gets you through. It's the men and women you work with, the training that you have, the fact that what you'll do for your fellow officer, despite the risk to yourself. That's when you find out that you're a real policeman and you're dedicated to your community and your profession. And there's no finer group of people than the ones in front of you today, whether they be dispatchers, other agencies, because all of us over our careers have seen officers go the other way. It happens, and you know who they are, and you never forget that. But none of these fine young men and women did. That's quite a testament to the old phrase, calm and cool under fire. It's really nice on TV and all that other garbage they put out there, but when it comes down to it, you find out. And I just want to applaud all these fine young men and women for all the agencies, your families. I'm sure you're very proud of these people because it's quite amazing. And we as commissioners, though we really don't have much to do with any of this except to thank you, are very proud of you as your administration, the mayor of this city. Once again, young officers and supervisors, I commend you also for taking the time to write these people up in a good way, not a bad way, but a good way, because sometimes that's been overlooked too. We get on them, especially the public, when things aren't going well. And sometimes you take the time and the effort and you praise these fine people because they don't get it as often as they should. When we're all sleeping, they're out there. The police officer's prayer, if you ever get a chance, read it. Every funeral I go to of a police officer, I read it to myself. It's amazing. But we'll let you go with that. And with those comments, any public comments, any family members want to say anything? Okay. Okay, with that, we'll come to adjournment, but I want to remind everybody first, and again, repeat myself, Friday at 11 o'clock, FOP on Highway 20, Peace Officers Memorial. Second, the June meeting will be Wednesday, June the 12th at 11 a.m. at the police department in the community room. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you've got should be quite proud of these fine young men and women. You did a hell of a job. Meeting adjourned.